Hi, my name is Alejandra Perez, and today I'll be presenting the Miami-Dade Public Library System's digital collections. This digital collection can be found on the mdpls.org website under their Explore tab in the Digital Collection file, or directly on their homepage in the link listed here. Their mission is to create an innovative, user-centered online community anchor that provides opportunities for lifelong education, exploration, and discovery for all. The user communities of this digital library include all online users and are most likely going to be people interested in Florida, whether that be for informational, educational, or recreational purposes, as well as Miami-Dade community itself. Stakeholders include the Miami-Dade Public Library System, or MDPLS for short, as well as the Institute of Museum and Library Services, or IMLS for short, and the Department of State's Division of Library and Information Services, since the two latter are the ones that provide the funding. More specifically, the funding comes from the Library Services and Technology Act, which is a grant provided by IMLS and distributed by the Department of State's Division of Library and Information Services. While there isn't any information found of any current funding, it is presumed that the digital library is capable of continuing to be operational and expects to do so in the foreseeable future. In terms of interoperability and incorporation, they clearly are interoperable and cooperate closely with the Miami-Dade Public Library System, specifically their Art Services and Exhibition Division, as well as the Special Collections and Archive Department. They also collaborate with other Miami-Dade County organizations that provide certain items for their materials, as well as their three main collaborators, which are the Helen Muir Florida Collection, the Permanent Art Collection, and the Vasari Collection. The content in the digital library is vast and diverse. In terms of format, they have anything from rare books to letters, pamphlets, postcards, audio files, video files, and more. They also have all kinds of types, including images, moving images, three-dimensional things, as well as correspondence and even a various type, which encompasses everything else. They also have a USGS Earth Explorer, which is meant to capture coordinates intended to describe the geographical location of central feature of some of these records. In terms of adding to the collection, it's the MDPLS Special Collections and Archive Department that does so and intends to continue adding items on an ongoing basis. The organization of the digital library is divided into 34 collections. The collections can be sorted by relevance, title, date, and or publisher, the items within the collections, and then they can also be further narrowed down by the collection, source, format, type, subject, and creator. There's also an advanced search option available. The metadata that is applied is descriptive, technical, and administrative Dublin Core metadata. Its controlled vocabulary is from terminology of the Getty Thesauri and the Library of Congress authorities, and it includes several elements in the metadata, including some of the more common ones like title, creator, publisher, date, keywords, language, and more that we'll see a little bit more in the demo. The physical library, this digital collection gets most of its materials, again, from the MDPLS Special Collections Archives, and when it was initiated in 2018, it did this by the process of digitizing by scanning or photographing all these materials. In terms of service, the access policy makes this digital website available and accessible online 24/7 to anyone. Users over 16 also have the option to create a free account that will allow them to bookmark items from the collection. There is also a way to search, which is the basic search as well as the advanced search. Both of these search options let you filter by collection, source, format, type, subject, and creator. And the advanced search has additional filter options, including a search term and date fields. Users can browse the digital library by selecting a collection to browse on the home page, or they can click on the search icon or the browse tab, which will populate all the collections, and you can filter down from there. In terms of help or instruction, there is on the About tab of the digital library a Contact Us option at the end that provides the email address and phone number for the staff of MDPLS that can further assist. And there is also a tutorial tab on the homepage that allows you to see cool tricks and tips on how to navigate and use the different resources on the digital library. In terms of technology, most of the files are stored at the digitization local server, and though it doesn't specify where this local server is, it's safe to assume that it resides within the main Miami-Dade Public Library. In terms of hardware, this platform was created through collection builders of 2 project clients as well as Content DM, and these are products that are offered by OCLC. In terms of the interface, it's really simple and user-friendly. You don't need much experience with digital libraries to be able to successfully maneuver it, and it uses JavaScript. In terms of security and quality, their separate sets of uncompressed files are stored as archival masters or TIFF files, along with derived copies or JPEG files. Items can also be stored in a Content DM cloud-based preservation archive, and the library downloads metadata backups from Content DM on a monthly basis. They're committed to the continuous improvement of the quality of the metadata by performing extensive research of contextual information for accuracy and consistency of the metadata. No information on specific research and developmental problems was addressed by the digital collections. And here you just see some other neat publications and articles related to the MDPLS digital collections, including their blog page, which is pretty neat, and some other articles. So now to go to the demo, I'm going to go ahead and click on the MDPLS homepage. So here you would go to where it says Explore, and you would select Digital Collections, and this is going to take you to the digital collection homepage. So as you see, we have the collections here on the front. It shows one page, and then the second page, which shows you all 34 collection items. The tabs here allow you to search the different tabs, whether it's to go home, browse the About tab, which, as mentioned here at the bottom, gives you their contact information. The tutorial tabs, which is pretty neat because it gives you a really thorough explanation on how to use the Mirador, which is kind of like this viewer that some of the items include. The advanced search, it has a video that'll quickly show you kind of how to go through that. As well as for the saved items, you can click on the advanced search and it'll show you a PDF with thorough details on how to do an advanced search and save items. Then this just takes you to the main MDPLS homepage, and this just opens up an email for you. So back to browsing, if you wanted to just kind of browse in general the collection, maybe you don't have anything specific in mind, you can go here to the Browse tab or even just click on the search button and it'll take you here. It'll show you basically everything in this digital library. And then you can go ahead and filter them, right? When you initially do this browse without anything specific in mind, you'll see that it's sorted by title, but you can always change this to date or publisher. If you wanted to narrow down your search, you can, either by picking a certain collection, a certain source, a certain format, a certain type, or a certain subject, creator, and as you see, these all have multiple options. Let's say I did have something specific in mind. I could go ahead and type it in here. So let's say, for example, I wanted to search Key West. I would do that. And then after, that's going to narrow down my search significantly, as we'll see. So now I have 699 records. Still quite a lot, but a little less. And again, it'll make it easier for me if I wanted to, let's say, filter. So let's say I wanted to see specifically formats. I wanted to see postcards. And let's say I wanted to browse specifically a certain collection. Let's say in this case, promotional and tourism. Bam. And then I would click up here where it says update. And as you see, this narrowed down significantly, even more so. And now I have 1 of 7. So then I can click on any of these to show a little bit more detail. It has this really neat thing here where, depending on the type of item or material that's being seen, it'll tell you exactly where what you searched or your keywords are found. So in this case, we see it's a postcard. We can see the front and the back of it. And here in the object description, this varies a little bit item by item, but we see it has thorough details. So the title, an alternative title, what part of the series, different keywords, language, location, the format, the physical description, the type, the repository, the collection title, the digital identifier, and as well, almost all of these have the standardized rights statements as well as the access statements for both. So you can click on this and it'll give you more information. And also on the About tab, you have a little bit of copyright information in there as well. So the neat thing about this too is if I wanted to further go into one of these, they're hyperlinked. So let's say I wanted to see other Key West description and travel. I can click on there and then that's going to show me what that is based on how my filters were. So again, if I wanted to expand my search, I could, for example, select all collections, update, and this should give me a little bit more information. So again, if you go into any of these, you kind of see that, again, it has, depending on the item, you can browse it, you can see different things. It's going to highlight on the item descriptors that match your search. And here you have, again, the detailed information for that particular item, which in this case happens to be a brochure, and it happens to be text. And that's a basic search. If you wanted to do an advanced search, you also could, and it gives you a little bit more options in terms of how specific you want to be. So here I could add specific terms. So let's say, for example, I'm looking for hotels. So I would add hotels here. I can make this all the words, exact phrases, or none of the words, basically to not have it say hotels at all. And then I can add multiple rows to this. So let's say all fields, let's say I want hotels in Miami Beach. I can do that as well. And then enter on, I can also, this one lets me specify the dates. So I could say if I wanted it on a specific day, after, before, or between certain date ranges. So let's say in this case I just say I want it before 1950. I would click search. It'll take a little bit to think. And this is going to be my results based on that search. So now I have 435 of that search results, and I can click into any of these or further filter them down based on any of these elements here as well. So let's say I wanted to see specifically brochures. That's going to lower my search specifically to 2. And again, I can just go in and click on it and see more information about this specific item. I can also save it. So I would click here on the save button, and this is going to take it to my saved items. If you create an account, which you can, it'll let you keep your saved items. If not, as soon as you leave the page, this will get removed. But if you create an account, which anyone over 16 can do, this will permanently stay on your account. And then you can also easily export it with one of these links that it lets you do. And some also have easy ways to export it onto like social media like Facebook and such. So yeah, the other really neat thing about this is also the blog. The blog is more like a blog. It kind of tells you a little bit of what's going on, what's been posted recently, and this is a great place to start for somebody that's maybe just going into exploring, doesn't have something specific that they want to search, is just kind of more intrigued and browsing. So it'll give you kind of like detailed information of like more specific items or things like that. That could be a neat start for somebody that doesn't really isn't really looking for something specific. And then if you want to just go back, you can click on the back button. You can click on here, this digital collections, and it'll take you back to the digital collections homepage. And yeah, that includes basically my presentation for the Miami-Dade Public Library Digital Collections. I hope you all enjoyed it and can make use of it sometime soon. Thank you.